I'm Jim Heid from UrbanGreen here in San Francisco, and tonight I've got the pleasure of interviewing Mayor Becker from the city of Salt Lake City. I do strategic consulting around sustainable development, specifically focused on the built environment. Well, I think it's fascinating what's going on here. I've interviewed and met with a number of students over the years as the program has been evolving. Well, the good news is I think that the idea of sustainability is much more broadly embraced and appreciated. Before, you spent a lot of your time and energy just explaining the concept, and now I think there is at least a floor of understanding. Okay. So Jim Heid, thanks for this opportunity this evening, and look forward to later.
I'm Ralph Becker. I'm the mayor of Salt Lake City, and I'm here tonight to join in a discussion about sustainability and some of the things we're doing in Salt Lake City, and I think the thinking behind sustainability for someone who is in a position like mine where you're in the political world and trying to be very proactive. The way we get things done in our society, in our country, and certainly in our community is by having good standards, having a vision reflected in plans, and oftentimes trying to get out of the way then of the creative juices that the private sector brings in. I tend to try to put everything in our community under a rubric or umbrella, really, of livability. And that's something people seem to be able to relate to well. You know, we want a high quality of life. We want to have economic prosperity. We want to know that we're doing things as a community that move us in the direction of what our ideals are. And I think a little bit, I'm a kayaker, I think a little bit it's kind of like you're on a wave and you're kayaking and there's this sweet spot. And you want to be on the front edge of that wave. But if you get too far in front, you're going to get nosedived and all hell breaks loose. And in a way, in the work that I feel I'm doing and we're doing as a community, it's finding that sweet spot and moving forward very rapidly. But keeping the community with us as we go.
You know me, I'm Bill Shutkin, the President and CEO of Presidio Graduate School. I think it's fair to say I know everybody now. Great to see you. It's so fun to see this kind of turnout for the event after a long day of residency. What did they say about orange juice? It's not just for breakfast anymore. Entrepreneurship is not just for the private sector anymore. So tonight we're so delighted to have Ralph and Jim in conversation, sharing with you all what it means to be a public entrepreneur and what it means to build real, sustainable, prosperous communities. So guys, thank you.
I never envisioned elective office, so beware, all of you. Because we need so much, we need people who are committed to community and to our social world.
In the time we have, I'd like to organize this in three parts. And the first is about the role of cities in addressing the challenges of sustainable urbanism and human settlement.
I think part of it is because we live in communities, and people in communities want healthy places to live.
Talk a little bit about some of the things that are going on in Green Salt Lake City that, you know, most interesting to you, that you think are really pioneering then compared to your peers that you're talking to out there that are running other cities?
I say if there's one thing that I see that's different in what we're doing in Salt Lake, it is how comprehensive an approach that we're taking there. We are looking at every aspect of our community and our society and trying to make as forceful a change as we can to get to the kind of community that is descending upon us whether we accept it or know it or not, is the way I tend to look at it.
The question is, how do you create and instill a culture of entrepreneurialism and even more than entrepreneurialism, the willingness to take risks, to innovate, to be able to embrace new ideas, because that's not something that typically has been part of the public sector's mandate.
We've rewarded people who take risks in city government, and that has helped people kind of come out of their shell and deal with issues that they know are there, usually better than anyone else. But they've been afraid to take them on because they're afraid their supervisor or someone else is going to tell them, wait a minute, you know, don't rock the boat on this, or that doesn't follow the exact language of this rule the way we've always interpreted it. It's like, you know something, we're going to figure out how to do this. We're going to figure out how to put a portable garden on what is a tennis court that is in bad shape for a while, and we're going to help people figure out how to do that. And you know, when you start rewarding people for doing things that we want to do as a community, on the government side, people are much more willing to step out and say, okay, we'll work with you and we'll figure this out, and know they're going to get supported, and then tell us, you know something, we got to figure out how to change the standard so that it's not an obstacle.
Yeah, do check out SLC Green, check out UrbanGreen, Jim's business, his company. Amazing things happening. You know, for me tonight, hearing about the race to the top, about cities competing with each other to build more livable, better communities is so exciting, and that's what our community is about. Whether you're a private entrepreneur or a public entrepreneur, making those kinds of communities happen is what our school is all about. We'll see you all next month, next residency. Thank you so much.